Right. We will move on to the final topic of the day, to a Redskins topic. And a lot of people are wondering, a lot of Redskins fans are wondering, who is the tight ends going to be for the Washington Redskins? I've seen a lot of people on YouTube talking about it. I've seen a lot, like I've had my own people that I know that have asked me about it. And so I just wanted to take an opportunity. Who do you think will make the team? And then also on top of that, who do you think will be the starter?
Well, and I took a look at the 7 tight ends they have right now.
There's a lot of tight ends right now. Yeah.
And I really honestly tried to gather some data that would say, oh, this guy might be the guy. And I know you have an opinion. I have a warm spot in my heart for Jeremy Sprinkle, and I think it's primarily because we would do the
yeah, sprinkle me.
Whenever he make a play, I think it's Sprinkle.
Yeah.
But, and I will say this, that I'll go back to the fact that we're dealing with a new coach. My inclination is he's going to want to go with young and new as opposed to older and established. But I am curious about Randy Moss's son. I heard he's probably a better blocker than he is, he'll be more of a benefit blocking, but he's got good hands. He's 6'3", which is not the biggest. But I got to be honest with you. I looked over it. I didn't see anybody that was like, oh, this guy's a lock. This guy's going to be on the team. So if you have more insight than I do, I
looked at it, and I really like Richard Rodgers. Richard Rodgers is somebody that has really good hands. He is an okay blocker. He's not going to be anything game breaking. I don't think. Let me just start by saying that I don't think we have the next great tight end on the team. We're going to have okay tight ends, and it's not going to be something spectacular. But I do like Richard Rodgers. I liked him in Green Bay. You go back and watch it. It's like he has really natural hands. Like just everything that comes his way, he can catches the ball in traffic. He's not the fastest guy, but he's a decent route runner that can get open for you, especially on quick routes and stuff like that. Like so on third downs, like he could beat a linebacker one-on-one for a quick cut. But so I think he's going to make the team and be a starter. Logan Thomas, I think they really like, and I think he will make the team. And now the third spot is going to be the fight, and it's the two that you mentioned, Jeremy Sprinkle and Thaddeus Moss. And I think the player that's going to come away is going to be Thaddeus Moss, because they can save $2 million on the cap by cutting Jeremy Sprinkle. Everybody else they cut doesn't really save them anything. I think Richard Rodgers was the highest at $750K if they cut him. But basically, you're going to have to say that Jeremy Sprinkle is $1.3 million, over 2 times better than Richard Rodgers, Logan Thomas, or Thaddeus Moss to stay on this team, and I just don't see that happening. So I think that Jeremy Sprinkle is going to be the one to be cut. You're going to have Richard Rodgers and Logan Thomas to be your number ones, with Thaddeus Moss going to be on your 3 tight end sets, and the guy that's going to be your potential up-and-coming tight end of the future if he can continue to grow as a prospect. But yeah, so those are my 3. So Richard Rodgers number 1, Logan Thomas number 2, and Thaddeus Moss number 3. Hedges,
I will say,
and some other guys I don't think have a chance.
Right, I think Logan Thomas jumped out at me because he's 6'6". So
yeah,
big guy, but yeah, I can't argue with that. And I guess Jeremy Sprinkle, has he been with us 3 years or 2?
I think this is his 4th year. I think he's going. So I think he's been here 3 years. I think he's been here for 3. I think he's going into his 4th year. I think he was the same year as Jonathan Allen.
Okay, well that's what I'm saying is that he's been with. He's been with us 3 years and hasn't done anything in trying to fill the vacuum that Jordan Reed left from never being able to play. That I think I agree with you that Ron Rivera is going to look at that and think, okay, you've been around here and you never really,
Yeah, he
because
was
he
the
had
same year.
opportunities.
He was the same year as Jonathan Allen. So this is going to be his 4th season coming
Really,
in.
Jonathan Allen? Man, time flies. I can't believe Jonathan Allen's already in his 4th year. I know
Yep.
it's true, but it's like it seems like just yesterday. And I know we've had Deron Payne, and it's like and Dwayne Haskins. So yeah, it makes sense. But it's like, man, where does the time go? But I think yours, your guess is as good as. I mean, it makes as much sense as what I can make out of it because
Yeah.
there was not a whole lot of looking at any of them and going, wow, this guy's impressive.
Definitely not. I definitely agree. We don't have the next George Kittle or Travis Kelce or Gronkowski on our team. These are going to be role players, and I think they have the ability to be decent players for us, and can they're not somebody that you're going to be putting one on one, but that you're going to have to rely on Terry McLaurin, Kelvin Harmon. But I was looking. We also have a dude named Emmanuel Hall, and I don't know if you know this guy. He's a receiver out of Missouri that he played with Drew Lock, and he was Drew Lock's guy. He's 6'3", 195 pounds, and we actually have him on the roster. This is going to be a tough out for the Redskins of who they cut, because I think Emmanuel Hall is going to be a guy that's going to be hard to ignore. But you already have the 2 guys you drafted in Golden and Gibson. Gibson might be a running back, but you also have a huge running back room. Like, there's so many running backs on this team. So, but you already have Antonio Gibson and Gandy Golden. You have the 2 that you drafted last year in Kelvin Harmon and Terry McLaurin. You have Steve Sims, who was a breakout slot player. You have Trey Quinn, who has been a decent slot player. Then you have Emmanuel Hall now. Like, there's probably only going to be 5 or 6 receivers that make this team, and there's 8 that are going to be fighting for a job. This could be it's a young group, but there's some potential here at this receiver.
So what you're saying is Cody Lattimore had no chance here anyway.
Cody Lattimore was going to be in an uphill battle coming in. Like,
Yeah,
he was going to have to
agree
prove a
with
lot.
that, but
yeah, and then we still have Cam Sims, who's a 6'5" receiver that is a kind of a fan favorite, especially after the preseason showings. Like, he's a fan favorite. So there's 9 guys that I just listed that could make this team potentially. That at least 3 of them, like, they're at the most, they're going to have 6 receivers. They may only carry 5. So there's 9 guys that are going to be fighting, and then maybe you move Gibson to a running back, like I said, and like now you have 8 guys fighting for 5 or 6 spots. But I mean, you could go down the list on the running back room. AP, Darius Geis, Bryce Love. Those are 3 running backs. Then you also have Peyton Barber now. You have J.D. McKissick from Seattle and Detroit. Like, you have a very loaded up backfield room. Again, with nothing necessarily, like, none of these guys, they have potential, but none of these guys are, again, similar to the tight end. None of them stick out as, like, these guys are going to be all-time greats, besides, of course, Adrian Peterson. But Adrian Peterson's now 35 years old. But they're all good players. They're all, like, players that you would like to have on your team, and they're all going to be fighting for a limited amount of spots. It's going to be an interesting training camp when and if we get in there.
And if I could just throw in at the end, this is why I'm optimistic. Because we got, I know, I had to throw in a plug.
Here comes the homer. Here comes the homer.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that I am convinced that our defense is going to be great, and we have a lot of talent on the offense. That if they pick the right combination of players, that and our defense is what I hope they can be. I think we're going to surprise a lot of people this year. And you're right, we might go 6-10. You might be right. But I think there's reasons to be optimistic. And the fact that you just listed 9 guys for receiver and you couldn't figure out, you're worried about the 10th guy or how am I going to fit these guys into 6 spots?
Yeah.
As opposed to, I don't care which 5 guys they keep because none of them are any good.
Yeah, they're all young and full of potential. As I said, there's none of them that are necessarily really established, I guess, unless you say Terry McLaurin. But even McLaurin's only a 1-year guy. I love Terry McLaurin. I think he's legit. But
I do too.
but besides him, you have a lot of guys that are going to be fighting for spots. Saying that, I think that Steve Sims is going to make the team. I think Kelvin Harmon makes the team, and I think Gandy Golden makes the team, and obviously Antonio Gibson's going to make the team. Where they put him is a debate. So there's 4 guys that I think are definitely going to make the team. So now you have 1 or 2 spots for the rest of the guys, and it's going to be tough. And I look out for Emmanuel Hall. He's going to make noise that's going to say, "Put me on this team." I just don't know if they're going to be able to do it or not.
What about special teams?
Well, either way, you're only going to carry 6 receivers. Like, and your 6th guy is probably going to be a special teams guy, but like you're only carrying 6 receivers no matter what you do. You're not going to start carrying 7, 8, 9 receivers. It's just not really doable.
All right. So before we wrap up, I don't think, and maybe I missed it. Did you tell me who you think the starting tight end is going to be?
Yeah, I think Richard Rodgers and Logan Thomas will split at the starting spot, and then they'll be the 2 on the 2 tight end sets coming in. Third down, I think that you're going to lean towards Richard Rodgers is going to be your tight end. That is going to be your third down guy. And then your first and second, Richard Rodgers can be in there, but that might be where your Logan Thomas comes in more to play with a blocking tight end that also has the ability to catch the ball out of play actions. But if you don't go 5 receivers, Jordan Reed was 6'5".
Sorry. Okay. I like I said, what jumped out to me, and I know it's a small stat, but to have a tight end that's listed at 6'6" is like, okay, he's gonna. Your initial reaction is, all right, he's gonna be hard to deal with linebackers and the people he's likely to face. Now, he might have stone hands and can't do anything.
He's not going to be Gronk. He's not going to be Gronk. That's for sure. Gronk was.
Yeah, I know.
Do you ever go back and watch Gronkowski highlights?
Yeah, it's.
Oh my God, man amongst boys, the dude was a freak of like. It took multiple players to tackle him every single time. Catching the ball over dudes was just embarrassing. Like no matter who you put out there, he would just catch it over.
Wasn't he like 6'7" or 6'8"? He's
somewhere in there. 6'6".
He was more than 6'6".
Maybe I don't know. Somewhere well. When you stand him next to a 5'11" corner or a 6 foot linebacker, he looks like a monster. Yeah, I don't know what he was.
Sorry, about that because I'm the over under on his height is 6'7".
I just looked it up, so I can't say nothing.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, he's 6'6".
See, okay. I thought he was taller than that.
As I said, you stand him next to a 5'11" dude, all of a sudden he does look a lot taller.
I know. I also lost a bet with my older brother that Harold Carmichael was 6'9", I think he said, or 6'11". He was ridiculous. Pat Fisher for the Redskins used to cover him. Pat Fisher was 5'11", and Harold Carmichael was 6'9". And the visual of them on the field, and Pat Fisher hung with him, man. He was like,
yeah. What's up, guys? Thanks for watching to the end of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. The like button is on this side for mobile. If you have any of your own thoughts or questions, comment down below. We may just answer it next video. Thanks. See ya.